Hello, it is Rachel, and this week in my podcast episode in my Facebook group, I've been talking a lot about strong-willed behavior. You know, that behavior where you ask your child to do something and they complain or they negotiate or they are asking questions or resisting and being stubborn. And rightly so, a lot of us get very frustrated with this behavior. I mean, we think, why can't you just do what I ask you to do without all of the complaints and the questions and the negotiating? Or we think, when are you going to understand, child, that things aren't always going to go the way you want them to go? This behavior is very frustrating, so it makes it hard for us to understand or even care about what is going on for them. The reality, though, what is going on for them is something that very often goes on for us as well, and I want to explain that to you. So simply, when a child is having this strong-willed behavior, what's happened is they have in their mind the way something is going to go. They imagine they're going to be able to go out and play with their friends or stay up a little late. They have this image in their mind, and they can't really let go of that easily. Now, this happens for us too, and we get as frustrated as they do. So here's an example. Imagine you're trying to clean the family room because you have company coming over and you want the family room to look neater. And you're trying to clean and your kids are taking things out and they're making a mess. Now, you had in your mind that the family room would be clean, but they're working against you and your goal. You would probably get very frustrated. But another example, and I use this one in my podcast, let's say that you are trying to get out of the house by a certain time. You need to get out by 8:30 in order to make sure the kids get to school on time, you get where you need to go. So you have in your mind that you're going to get out by 8:30, but the kids are taking a long time, they're dragging their feet, they're not doing what you want in the order you want them to do it in. You probably get very frustrated. You have an image in your mind of how things are going to go, and when someone is working against you, that becomes very frustrating. Now, you have a little bit of control in these situations because you are a parent, so you can yell at them, you can take things away from them. But kids, when they imagine something's going to go some way and they feel that someone is working against them, they have no control, they have no power. So what do? They try to get control by negotiating or questioning or being stubborn. It's actually the way they're coping with feeling out of control. Now, obviously, we need to teach kids ways to cope in healthier ways. We also need to teach them how to be a little bit more flexible, and I do believe it's our job to do that. But most importantly, we need to see their behavior differently first and realize that in those moments, they are actually having a problem, not being a problem. Because we can teach them all the coping skills in the world, all the tools to be a little bit more flexible, but if we are coming at them, assuming they're being a problem and we're angry, all of these tools are going to go out of their brains out the window. They're not going to be able to use these tools. So the first place in starting to understand and deal with strong-willed behavior is really to understand what's going on. And the best way to do that is to realize we're in similar situations as well, but we have a lot more power and control than they do. So if you want to learn a little bit more about strong-willed behavior and how we can teach kids some tools, I encourage you to check out my latest podcast episode. You can find that on my website, rachel-bailey.com/83, and I'll be back again soon with more tips for you. Take care.